Good morning and thank you very much for joining us for Sports on the AM show. My name is Abigail Sena Sosu, but we are the penultimate stage of the FIFA World Cup in Doha, Qatar. A very lavish and beautiful one we have had in terms of stadium, in terms of environment, in terms of euphoria. For some of us, we believe that we've had one of the best in a very long time, in a rather revered Arab region, an unusual venue at an unusual time of the year. But we'll get to talk at length as we build up to the third and fourth place games and the final on Sunday as well. And so today we get to review the tournament in general and get to see the high and low moments for people or individuals who play various roles in the game and in the competition as well. We'll get to hear from some learned colleagues and senior ones at that. But before that, we'll hear from George Boateng, who was one of our assistant coaches at the World Cup and says that Ghana comparatively performed well. Let's hear from George before our colleagues also join us by Zoom.
When we look back, I think we can all say that we had a very good preparation and good organization. We planned well. As coaching staff and as team, I think when we look back, there's no way we could say that we missed out on something. I think going to Abu Dhabi as part of the planning and preparation for the World Cup was excellent. Getting the players to get used to the weather, the different culture and the heat, as well as getting to know the style of play. A lot of the players hadn't played in a World Cup game before, so the preparation against Switzerland was a very good preparation. Also, the victory and the way we played against Switzerland, I thought it gave the team, the players also a moral boost in terms of confidence-wise. So when we look back, I think we had a very good planning and organization. I thought if you look at it, we performed well as a team, well enough in every game. If you look at the game against Portugal, I thought the team was very compact, very solid. Everybody gave its all, and we all know that if the penalty wasn't given, then perhaps things could have been different. But you have to accept that. That's football. You have to move on from that, and we did so. I thought the game against South Korea was outstanding. The players showed so much character in that game, leading 2-0 and then conceding 2 goals to then find the courage to come back and still win the game gave us such a good confidence boost. And it showed also us as staff that we have players who have the right discipline and the right character. And if we look at it overall, we were the lowest ranked team coming to the World Cup, but we did better than Denmark, did better than Serbia, than Iran, than Costa Rica, Saudi Arabia, and Qatar, the host. So if you look at it as a team, we have really performed well enough for a team that came to the tournament as the lowest ranked. And obviously, if you look at the last game against Uruguay, we all know that things could have been a lot better for us had only luck gone our way. I think the news I'm getting and the feeling I'm getting, the feedback I'm getting, or we are getting as a team, is that overall everybody back home and the fans that came here, they feel that the team really gave their all. In every game, we never died. In the game against Portugal, we kept going, and we ended up losing 3-2. In the game against South Korea, we kept going, and even though people were very disappointed, and including us, and the players were disappointed in the game against Uruguay, if you look at the way we finished the game, we finished it really strong. So I believe that the public and everyone, every fan that came out here and those back home, I do believe that they feel that they have a satisfying feeling of the tournament, and that they have also seen that we have some good, outstanding, young, talented players that needs to be molded, and hopefully in the future we have a very good team that can play to try and win trophies at international level. Yeah, well, it's one of those. The what-ifs, and hindsight is a beautiful thing. I've seen top players miss penalties. I've seen players missing penalties at World Cups, at Champions League finals, at UEFA Cup finals, club level. So it can happen. I think for us as a team, where we find it difficult to deal with is the fact that what happened after the penalty. The penalty miss, of course, it's disappointing, but that's not the end of it. It was 0-0, and we should still manage to see out the game. And that's where I think the general feeling is that we should have and could have done better overall. The what ifs, there's no point to look at it that way. I would rather like to look at it in a positive way, that we finished the game in a very strong manner, and the general public and everybody could see that Ghana have some outstanding players. Players that could take the national team forward in the next 4 or 5 years, starting with the African nations qualifying and then the tournament itself in 2024.
Holistic analysis, if you ask me, there from the assistant coach of the Black Stars of Ghana, George Boateng. But joining me via Zoom is FIFA high performance specialist, Faisal Chipsa. Faisal, it's good to see you again. I'm well. Good morning, if you can hear me.
Good morning, how are you?
I'm good, yourself?
I'm doing well, thank you.
Yeah, I would love us to start from where George Boateng ended, but let's look at the host nation, Qatar. I don't think that in the last decade or so, when you're talking about football nation, you would even want to think about Qatar being able to host the world to such a spectacle, but they went in for it, and over a decade, a dream have been lived. They are living the best times of their life to have hosted the whole world. And every portal, wherever you go, the minute you type World Cup, the first thing that comes is Qatar. For a nation like Qatar, what did the World Cup mean to them?
No, I think it's exceptional. Most people would have looked at their performance on the field and judged them on it. But for the Qataris, that wasn't the goal for them. The goal for them was really grow the game of football in Qatar and introduce the game to the future generation. So if you ask me if they've met the expectation and reached their goals, for me, it's 100%. It's a win for them. We'll look at it now and we say, okay, maybe they didn't perform well, but for the Qataris, it was different. And if we should go, in the future, 10 years from now, I think football is going to look different in Qatar. You're going to have more boys and girls interested in the game now. This definitely is going to grow the game of football in the country. And that for them is a win, not just in Qatar, but for me in the Gulf area as well. For a small country of, 2 million people, to stage the biggest event in football in the Gulf area, it speaks a lot about where the game is going. And for FIFA as well, we want to make this game very global. And how else would you make the game global if you're not taking it to the rest of the world? So from FIFA and the Qataris, I think this is a wonderful event. And the success story here for me is definitely going to grow the game of football in Qatar.
For them, it was an opportunity to inculcate a lot of things into their way of life, to expand their road systems, to get all these beautiful edifices, hotels, and all of that. But for we in the business of football, I'm sure before the tournament started, you might have had some perception of how they were going to do it. How would you rate the tournament that they have been able to put together?
Now, if you were following Qatar since they got the bid, you would clearly understand everything was completed 2 years ahead of time. So we knew the stadium were ready, we knew the infrastructure, the new metro system, training pitches, everything was ready 2 years ahead of time, yeah. So all left for me was just people getting out of that notion and perception about the Arab world and everything else that was going on there. It's true, there are some issues that needed to be addressed, and I think they have addressed some of them. But look, the reality is everybody faces this. We can't just be naive and be hypocrites here and act as if Qatar is the only country facing these issues. We have our own, and the rest of the world has got their own as well to deal with. But for me, like I said, the positive side is always what to look at. And of course, we would pay attention to some of the areas that are present that needs to be addressed. And Qatar have accepted their areas of weaknesses, and I think they will address them moving forward. But all said, I think this was a wonderful event that they brought to the Gulf area. And clearly, we're going to see changes, not just in the sporting world, but I think in the geopolitical space as well. It's a win-win situation for all.
You, speciality is something that comes to you easily because of what you do. But this is a tournament that assembled 32 nations from all over the world. And I would want to ask you, first of all, are you impressed with the quality of play, quality in management, quality in the individuals that came out to play up until this time that we are looking forward to how the last four will pan out?
I would say so, yeah. And again, looking at where I sit now and who I work for, goal 6 of FIFA's vision was to increase global competitiveness. Before this World Cup, if you look at the previous ones, I would say UEFA nations and CONMEBOL have been the most countries that have dominated in the World Cup. But we saw that different in Qatar this time. You know, we saw Morocco for the first time reaching the Final Four. We saw Saudi Arabia, the only team that's beaten Argentina so far. So in that space, I would say we've bridged the gap a bit in terms of competitiveness. And that, for me, is what the game is about. You know, and that's what FIFA is looking to preach as well, to increase global competitiveness and make this game truly global. In terms of the players, of course, this is new. Having to stage a World Cup in the middle of the season, it's, you know, I wouldn't say it's never happened. It's happened before because, again, in the previous World Cups, if you live in Scandinavia and North America, that was the middle of the season for those places. So they had to go on break for the World Cup to be held in Europe during the summer. So either way, when you host it in the summer, some teams would have to break in the middle of the season. And when you host it in the winter in the Gulf area, most of the European teams would have to go on break to accommodate this World Cup. But again, people don't read facts and people don't know this. And we've always believed that World Cup should be held in the summer because that's when most of the European leagues are on break. But that doesn't mean the rest of the world are on break, you know. But going into this, we were kind of curious to see what form players would be in the middle of the season. Also taking into consideration the preparation time for the coaches compared to previous World Cups where they would have maybe 3-4 weeks to prepare. This time was only 1 week, you know. So for coaches, it was a bit of a difficult task to do. But that being said, I think from the first games or the first round of games until now, everybody is growing in confidence and the quality has improved a lot. So that speaks about, you know, the quality of coaches that we had and also the quality of players that are displayed in Qatar now. So overall, I think, again, it's a big win for football. And I've been very impressed with the quality of football that has been displayed this World Cup.
What would you say would be your biggest moment from this tournament that you think will live with you at least to the next one?
Morocco, for me, it's the biggest one. It's the biggest one. And they did it in style, you know. If you look at the teams they had to beat, Spain, Croatia, Portugal, these are world-class teams. These are top 20 teams in the FIFA ranking there. You know, I think it would have been a different story if they were playing against a lesser opponent or lesser ranked teams. People might have said, you know what, it's because it was less teams, but this time was different. You know, they had to compete against the best in the world and beat the best in the world to get to where they are now. So I don't think you can overlook that at all. And they did it in style. You know, unfortunately, the best game I saw Morocco play was the last one against France. Offensively, I thought they were very brave and they were calm and took the game to France. Unfortunately, they didn't get the results, but the performance for me was excellent. And if you tie it all together, I think this is the story that a lot of people, not just Africans, can drive some motivation from here and say, look, we can go to the World Cup and compete with the best of the best if we are prepared and we've had a team that's ready to do that. So for me, Morocco is the best story from Qatar 2022.
Let's come back to Team Ghana. There's been a lot of analysis post Ghana's exit. We collectively agree that we have some individual talents that will do a lot of exploits for us in future, barring injuries, and if they are going to continue to enjoy playing time and all. For you, in your capacity, Team Ghana, how did we perform?
Team Ghana, wow. You said it right there. There was a lot of individual brilliance on the team, quality on the team, but we also do know for sure that at this stage, it's about the collective. It's not about the individual. There are moments where you would rely on some individual players to win you the game, but at the end, it always comes down to the team that's really prepared collectively to compete in this tournament. And I think we fell short there. If you ask me, I was listening to the interview with George there, and him saying he thought they did well because, again, they competed or they were better than Qatar or Denmark. In a way, I disagree with that. I think you can only measure yourself against the goals that you set for yourself. And for us, if our goal was to be better than Qatar and Denmark, then I'd say maybe we did good. But I don't think that was the goal for Ghanaians. I don't think that was a goal for our football. The goal was to get to at least the semis. And since we weren't able to reach even the round of 16 or the quarters, for me, that's a failure. You can be happy and say you did better than Qatar or Denmark, but I disagree with that in my opinion. But looking forward, what we do know is we do have the players. We do have. We were ranked one of the youngest teams in the competition, so that means the future looks good. We also do know for sure we can compete against the best, but for us to be able to beat the best, we really have to prepare. We really have to set a team that believes in each other, that works collectively. And if not, then I think we will be speaking about this again in the next year. Hopefully, that's not the case, but. The positive for me is that we do have the squad and the players that are ready. We just have to create an environment, what I call the high performance environment, and prepare ourselves very well and make sure that we are ready not only to compete but to beat the rest. The best in the world to be able to get to the top.
Okay. Can you hold your horses for me, Faisal? We have been joined by Federico, who is an Argentine journalist still in Qatar. At least we'll get to hear from him as his country is on the road to annexing that trophy. Federico, if you can hear us, good morning from Ghana.
Do you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Yet to see you.
Maybe now. Now you hear? Are you showing me?
Yeah, I can see you. I can see you. It's good. It's good to see you.
Thank you. Sorry for that. This is the 10 a.m. here in Doha.
Yeah.
And now remember this Friday is Jumu'ah. Most of the people from Muslims is going to the Mesquita. It's really quiet, the city.
Okay.
But we are hoping. There's only 2 days from the final of the World Cup. We are very hopeful for that.
Okay. For you, I'm sure as an individual, you would be one of the happiest people in Doha, given that Argentina is part of the last four. But let's look at the tournament in total. I'm sure you've covered some tournaments before this one. How would you rate the tournament that the Qataris are giving us this year?
In this World Cup, I guess we got many surprises, like Morocco, like Japan, Croatia again. So I guess this more physically. In this World Cup, the team who has not the best performance in the physics would be given some kind of advantage. For example, we hope more than Germany, we hope more than Spain, we hope really more than the other teams. But in Belgium, for example, Uruguay, who plays against Ghana. So I guess in this World Cup, the team who got the best basic performances could be attacked, and the people and the team who got more talent. For example, Argentina lost against Arabia Saudita. So the team who got very strong mentally could be a very good match to the big potencies and the favorites. Argentina learned that, lost in the first match against Saudi Arabic, and now it's different because they humble. The Argentina learned that with the name, with Messi, it's not enough to win. They need to be straight, we need to be mentally stronger, they need to be good in the physically, and this World Cup teaches us this.
For you, I know that we can't talk about this World Cup without mentioning Argentina, but let's put that aside. What are some moments that you would go back to Argentina with, even if Argentina should win the Cup? I'm sure it will be one of those moments. But apart from that, what exactly caught your attention in Doha, Qatar?
I think we are in this day world. In Qatar, we get maybe 2 games in a day. So we'll be going to a stadium, going to Khalifa Stadium, and then we go to Education City. It's very important for us because we could be maybe 2. I got friends who get to 3 games in a day. I get a lot of good memories from the people here. We are really, really kind with us. We say maybe Arabic people, we need to be respectful. We need to be respect. They are very strong and close, and not. We saw the people here cheer for Argentina, cheer for the people, take pictures from Argentina people, and take videos from Argentina crowd, because we are so loud, if you know. In Argentina, people are very, in the tribune or in the stadium, we are very loud. So I got this. We hope, we expect it like a very close society, and the difference, we saw people who open your heart, open the heart, open his house, invite us dinner, invite us to drink something, and it was the very brotherhood in Qatar. I'm not sure it could be the best World Cup, but I thought a really good organization, good people. FIFA put their eye here, and we thought, why Qatar? Qatar never qualified to a World Cup. Yeah. Qatar is prepared to organize a World Cup, and now here in Doha, we are sure that Qatar give us a really, really nice World Cup, and from Argentina, we're waiting for the best prize. So, on Sunday, you will be maybe the big prize from Argentina.
Coming to that one on Sunday, how would you rate the France team, and what would you say will be the advantage that Lionel Messi and his Argentine mates would have over them on Sunday?
On Sunday, I guess Argentina got in front of, he has to face, in my opinion, the best team. France is stronger than Argentina in names. Griezmann, Tchouaméni, Varane, Mbappé, Dembélé. But Argentina got more than a team who play better when they are together. For example, step by step, Argentina lost against Arabia and starting to racing, growing up against Poland, Mexico, Australia. They struggled against País Basque, and Croatia. It was the best match from Argentina. I guess it's starting, it's racing up step by step, so it's going to make Argentina stronger. But now it's the best team in front of you, it's France. So I guess if Argentina maybe could mark, don't give spaces to the French attack, could be a very nice match, because France, it's a team that don't need the ball all time to attack you. They give you space, they get back, and then attack and attack with his speedman like Dembélé and Mbappé, and they really hurt the other teams. For example, Giroud maybe is not doing nothing, and then suddenly start with the head and goal. Mbappé could be quiet, but when starting to play, it's a killer.
Okay, so Federico, we can only wish you the very best on Sunday. We're hoping that Argentina and France will give us a good game, and then possibly for your sake, maybe Argentina can lift that one. But that history the Moroccans have been able to write up until this time, you think maybe before the final they can nick it over Croatia and maybe finish with the third place?
Yeah, we are living like a dream because Argentina now, for example, in the start of this World Cup, it wasn't like a nightmare, like in Russia 2019. And when the match when Argentina finished the match against Harbaski, we say, what's happened that we don't have any complication against Australia in the last minute. Our goalkeeper Martinez stopped the last. Yeah. Against País Basque, 10 minutes from additional, and País Basque get tied, and penalties. We maybe got a heart attack, and we spotted that against Harbaski and Croatia, we got the same. In what moment Croatia wake up? In what moment Croatia could attack us? And it's not happened because Argentina got serenity and make 3 goals. Yeah. So we don't want to. Put that we are racing up and it's finished, but now we're going to face France with some confidence that we didn't get it in the starting of the World Cup. So we need to be quiet, we need to be humble. This is most important. I don't know if I'm answering your question, but in Argentina we are prepared for that. But really, this World Cup give us so many kind of emotion in the game, in the stadium, and in the people in the street, because all the people in the street say, come on Argentina, Messi, we support you Argentina, like difficult kind of English, not I support you Argentina, like a difficult English, but we all know for the football there is no language. When you get patient, and Argentina could cross this frontier.
Thank you very much, Federico. I'm sure maybe we'll get to talk after Sunday to see how it went for you and wrap up everything in Doha, Qatar. It's good to hear from you, and do keep safe.
Okay, thank you. Come on, Black Stars. I work in World Cup Under-20 in Argentina in 2001. Okay. I remember this very beautiful place and very beautiful person like Fansil, Papu, Kingston, Michael Essien, Montari, Derek Boateng, and Razak Pimpon. So I got the black hearts because it was my first job in journalist. Okay. So I got the black hearts in heart.
Thank you very much, Federico. Do take care.
Thank you. Goodbye.
Okay. Bye. Back at home, we are joined by Samuel Nkum, who has been a part of the senior national team up until this time and currently with Accra Heart to Folk. Nkum, it's good to hear from you this morning.
Good morning.
Thank you for joining us, Sammy. We are wrapping up the tournament in Doha. We are the penultimate. Hopefully Saturday, Sunday, we get to see who will be first, second, and third. But for you as a former player, briefly, would you tell us what you make of Team Ghana and going forward, and the highest moments of this tournament you think you would always live with?
I think, in my opinion, this World Cup is one of the best, in my opinion. You know, in terms of organization, the stadium attendance, you know, everything is on point. Yeah. You understand? Yeah. Even the pitch itself, I'm so impressed. Qatar have done well. Qatar and FIFA have done an amazing job. What I want to say moving forward about our Blasters, that we went and saw whatever happened there. High time we have to put everything, everything aside and just focus on what we can bring on the table. Also, what Ghanaians can also bring back to now the love was coming, and all of a sudden, now everybody is talking the way, because they were expecting us to, go more, But this is football. Football sometimes like that. It happens when you are out of the tournament, and for you to come to also let Ghanaians who were supporting you from the beginning to know that, okay, this is what happened, we are not going to do this again, But I'm believing that if we want to move forward, because every time when we go and something does not go well, we learn our lesson, and the thing is happening again. the most important thing is that it's high time we have to take serious about what we have to do. I keep on saying in football, it's all about preparation, you know. So this is what I would say, that we have to prepare very well. We don't have to wait that when we are going to tournament, then you call players to play friendly games and this kind of stuff. We have to continue doing it so that we can also take big impact in the World Cup.
Let's look at that game on Saturday. Morocco has done Africa so well to come to this, to be in a part of the last four. But do you think they can run away with the bronze ahead of Croatia?
Why not? I respect this Moroccan team. You know, one thing they are doing, and I love how how they play, because you can see there's a seriousness, there's a team spirit, there's a there's a discipline as well, and also I love this coach to the extent that how he psyched the players. You know, he let them know that, listen, we are here to win the trophy, we are here to make history. You know, this is something that is good for the mindset, you know. So you can see whenever they are playing, you can see they want something, you know. And I wish, even now they have done something that no African country have done, you know. So this is a history, big history for them. But I know they will go for the third place, to be honest, because I see the mentality of the players, the mentality of even the country itself. Now they can see that, oh, okay, let's go and support them. When we support them, they can do something. So I will not be surprised if they will grab this tomorrow. I'm in the 10th place.
And then on Sunday, I don't know if you are going to be in the camp of Lionel Messi and his Argentina, or you'll be with Mbappe and this very interesting France team. Who do you think can take the ultimate?
I think this game will be one of the best games in history of football, because, you know, Argentina, everybody knows that the player they have that we cannot even use the word to describe it, which is Messi, and he also wants to prove a big point. He wants to take the cup because he has been everywhere. He has won a lot of trophies, Ballon d'Or. But I think this is really something that I can see that he has targeted, you know. And we all know that even the last game he played like 17 years old. You can see he took the responsibility. He was a leader on the pitch, and that is good. But, you know, French have a job that they can run too much. They have so many options from the bench, you know. And Mbappe, he wants to also make history as well. He's young, if I'm not wrong. I think he's 20, 23, 24, or 22, if I'm not wrong.
Yeah.
He wants to prove a point. He wants to take Boateng. He wants to also let the whole world know that he's Mbappe. So I think he's going to be one of the best games in the tournament. I think they deserve to be the final, both countries.
And who is going to win?
I think I'll go for Messi. Mbappe have more years.
Okay.
More. So I'll go for Messi, to be honest. I know everybody in the world, to be honest, they are praying that Messi will take it, you know. And Messi is so humble, you know. So people love him. So I'll go for it.
Okay. Thank you very much for joining us, Sammy, on that Argentine note. Now we know that, just like Federico, Samuel Nkum also wishes that Argentina lifts that trophy. But Faisal, if you are still with us, can we wrap up on the finals on Sunday?
I think it's, you know, the whole world wants Messi to win a World Cup. And I want to see good stories and I want to see good things happen to good people.
Yeah.
So I think the whole world at this point is pleading to the French to allow Messi win it. We are not asking them to play a fixed match, but we are just saying let Messi win this one so we can have a complete story about his life and what he's done for football. But I'll be happy if Messi wins this for Argentina because I think he deserves it.
I don't think we the lovers of Mbappe will be happy with you because he was in the final.
Mbappe is young. Mbappe will come back next 4 years. Okay. You've got more years to play. But let us win this one.
Okay, so we're going to see how that pans out on Sunday, but you have established that your biggest moment will be how the Moroccans have played and been a part of the last four. Do you think they deserve that brunt ahead of Croatia?
A kind of similar story to the Messi one again. As an African, and I'll be happy if they win this. But also to say, look, when you do things properly, when you put the right people in the right positions and allow them to do their job and prepare and give yourself long time, you'll reach success, you know? And I think Morocco has done it in the past 15, 20 years. So I'll be happy to just see them win this one, just to say to the rest of the world that you can only get to this stage when you prepare. So for me, I think I'll be happy if they win it. And I think they have the tools and the quality to win it as well. So I'm hoping for a Moroccan third place finish.
I thought you were going to say that at least for the sake of Luka Modric, you could also have his last World Cup. Croatia could.
That's good reasoning, good logic there, Abigail. That's good. But Luka Modric just won a second place, so yeah. I think that's good for him. But what a player! What a wonderful player. You know, I can watch him for the rest of my life, you know, but unfortunately all good things come to an end. But I think we've been fortunate to watch one of the best midfielders in the world, you know, showcase his talent and how it should be done effortlessly, you know. And for me, I've been a huge follower of Modric. I've studied him for a long time, and I'm happy that even at that stage, you can still perform like he's still a teenager. Wonderful story for him, but hopefully he stays around the game and able to pass on all that knowledge to the next generation in some capacity. But I think we've all enjoyed watching Modric play in the game of football here.
Thank you very much for your time, Faisal. We are grateful for all the knowledge that you've shared with us in the game. Hopefully, your wish for Messi that's come through, and maybe for me, Croatia's also wish to come through.
Don't do that. Don't do that, Abigail. Come on.
Okay, I'm sure we'll talk again very soon.
All right, speak soon. Bye-bye.
Okay. So it's good to have wrapped up with all of this insightful analysis and all. It looks like a lot of people are rooting for Messi to lift that one on Sunday, but the Lusail Stadium will decide when Mbappe and his France team also come out to play. That'll be all for sports this morning. Thank you very much for joining me. My name is Abigail Sena Sosu.